Welcome to another episode of Consumer Protection and You with Ryan Lippe. Today he's going to be talking about the National Consumer Protection Week and the videos that are made that will help you to better understand the services they provide. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Consumer Protection and You with Ryan Lippe. Ryan Lippe is a consumer educator with the State of Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost office. And today he's going to be talking about the National Consumer Protection Week and some of the videos that were made. Ryan, thank you again for making yourself available to inform us what some of the steps are to make sure that we are not cheated.
Right. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. And we are taping this after National Consumer Protection Week, which in 2023 was March 5th through the 11th. And one of the important things we did statewide in order to help educate people and make them more aware of consumer protection issues is we did a series of videos. And the intent was to launch one video per day. They're short videos, 1 to 2.5 minutes, I'd say. And they each talk about part of the consumer protection section here at the Ohio Attorney General's office and how they help the public, how we go out there for Ohioans. And, we took about 23,000 complaints in 2022, and our top complaint category was motor vehicles. But, we resolve a lot of complaints through informal dispute resolution. So it's not always about going out and suing companies, although we do some of that. A lot of times individual complaints are addressed through our informal dispute resolution process, where we get together with the business, tell them the consumer side of the story and vice versa, and try to get a result that is successful. A result that's satisfactory to the consumer and to the business. So if things don't work through that, a consumer can still go to small claims court or go to any other court that they qualify for to sue. In fact, you don't need a lawyer to go to small claims court. But the good thing about the informal dispute resolution service we provide is it's totally free. So you can do that before you go to small claims court. Try to get a resolution if you have a problem with a business and they simply don't see eye to eye with you and you want a refund or some other issues addressed. We can certainly help. And we've got videos to explain some of what we do. I will go to our website right now to show you how to get to our videos. The website is www.ohioprotects.org. That's www.ohioprotects.org. So I will pause a second and I will go to the front page of that website and guide you to finding all 5 of our National Consumer Protection Week videos. So now I'm at the front page of ohioprotects.org, which is our public-facing website for the consumer protection section of the Ohio Attorney General's office. This is where you go to do things like file a complaint, learn about fraud, schedule a presentation, learn more about our issues that we help address in the consumer protection section. So to see the special National Consumer Protection Week videos from 2023, you click in the middle of the screen where it says file a complaint. Just click on that link. And where we've posted them are just below this take action section with the woman looking at her computer. You want to go scroll down and you'll see the description of National Consumer Protection Week 2023, which is a week where we join nonprofit organizations, other government agencies in celebrating National Consumer Protection Week and using that to our advantage by building awareness, getting media attention, and really addressing consumers proactively about some of the issues that we address all year long. So the first video I'm going to play for you is a general video about the consumer protection section and how we can help the public. And it is from our consumer protection section chief, Melissa Wright.
Hi, I'm Melissa Wright, Consumer Protection Section Chief. It's National Consumer Protection Week. The Ohio Attorney General's Office has a section of attorneys and staff dedicated to protecting Ohioans from unfair and deceptive business practices to keep consumers safe in the marketplace. The Consumer Protection Section enforces more than 20 laws that address consumer issues ranging from advertising to cars to telemarketing. When those and other various consumer issues can't be resolved, we protect Ohio consumers by conducting investigations and bringing cases in court. The section's work has resulted in landmark settlements and millions of dollars in civil penalties and restitution for Ohioans. The Consumer Protection Section mainly focuses on civil enforcement, but our Economic Crimes Unit helps local law enforcement and prosecutors in identifying, investigating, and prosecuting consumer fraud of a criminal nature. Our Elder Justice Unit provides leadership and advocacy to fight elder abuse and exploitation statewide. The Attorney General's Office works with a number of agencies to help inform and build local resources to protect older adults. In 2020, our robocall enforcement unit was created and has fielded tens of thousands of unwanted call reports from consumers. Information from these calls is shared with various industry actors to help identify patterns and practices of bad behavior.
I'm Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. If you suspect a scam or an unfair business practice, contact us at the Ohio Attorney General's Office. You can reach us at ohioprotects.org, or here's our phone number, 800-282-0515. We're here to help.
That is, in a nutshell, what an overview of our consumer protection section looks like. Again, there's a lot of different units and subparts to our consumer protection section, but we all have about, we have 65, 70 people in the office that are all devoted to working towards consumer protection every day.
I know that you are a consumer educator. Are you available to go out into the community and share some of this information?
Absolutely. One of the priorities for our consumer educators, and we've got 3 of them on board, is to go statewide and hit all the different parts of Ohio and talk about consumer protection issues like identity theft, cybersecurity, consumer scams, senior scams, consumer rights and shopping smart, things like that. So part of our job is actually to go out and give presentation to groups. So if you have an organization in mind, please share our information with them or give us a call toll free at 800-282-0515 and tell them you want to request a consumer presentation, because we would love to come out to your group. And we do have typically a minimum of 20 participants are necessary for us to travel across the state, but we do virtual presentations with no minimum. So even if you have a really small group of folks, we can accommodate you through a virtual presentation with no problem. We also prefer if our presentations are during the week, during the business week, and during business hours. So it always fits in great with our schedule to have like a lunch and learn, or to do something over maybe the afternoon or in the late morning. It's always best, but we can try to accommodate whatever schedule people have set out for us. But it's always a bit better if something is like over lunch or sometime during the regular business day.
Hi, I'm Melissa Sazda-Smith, Assistant Consumer Section Chief. The Ohio Attorney General's Consumer Protection Section is here to help Ohioans know their rights as consumers and protect themselves against scams. It's National Consumer Protection Week, and our education unit conducts consumer protection presentations throughout the state, both in person and virtually. Our goal is to build awareness in the fight against fraud and to help protect Ohioans. In 2022, the unit conducted 160 educational events, reaching 9,000 attendees. There are a number of ways Ohio consumers can stay in the know. First, sign up for the Consumer Advocate, a bi-monthly newsletter addressing relevant consumer topics. Second, we would encourage you to sign up for presentations. If you are part of an organization, invite our team to give a presentation, participate in a panel, or host a table event at your resource fair. Available topics for presentations include consumer scams, cybersecurity, identity theft, and senior scams.
Hi, I'm Attorney General Dave Yost. Request a free presentation, or you can get added to the Consumer Advocate distribution list by filling out a simple request on our website at ohioattorneygenera.gov or calling 800-282-0515.
Melissa Sosda-Smith, who heads up our consumer education unit. She's also assistant section chief for our consumer protection section, and that addresses some of what our educators do every day. Writing for the Consumer Advocate newsletter, giving presentations out to the public, and really making sure people understand how to best protect themselves with so many scams, frauds, and identity thefts out there. It's really a priority for the office to educate the public so they don't get conned out of money or personal information.
Usually, how long are the presentations?
Typically they last anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour, including question and answer time, but we can fit into whatever time frame you have in mind. So if you have a presentation spot on your program and it calls for a half an hour or 45 minutes or a full hour, we can accommodate those requests. So I don't want to put ourselves in a box saying we can only give a 50-minute presentation. If you want something shorter or a bit longer, we can definitely accommodate your needs.
And what is the cost again?
It's absolutely free. We're already paying these consumer educators, and all of our staff comes from our budget. So what we need to do is be proactive and get out and educate people in Ohio's 88 counties. And so that is part of the office's resources they dedicate to education, is having our 3 consumer educators go out statewide all year long. We are now going to play a video about our ever important identity theft unit.
Hi, I'm Tracy Clark, Consumer Protection Specialist. It's National Consumer Protection Week. You've likely heard how common identity theft can be these days, as well as how this crime can devastate victims. Fortunately, when it comes to identity theft, the Ohio Attorney General's office is here to help with important tips and resources. Our Consumer Protection section has a unit dedicated to helping victims of identity theft, which occurs when someone obtains and uses your personal information without your permission to commit fraud. You may be a victim of identity theft if you start receiving bills that aren't yours, if credit is suddenly denied, or if you notice new credit accounts on your credit report. You can check your credit report for free once a year at www.annualcreditreport.com. If you believe you're the victim of identity theft, contact your local police department and file a police report, then contact our office. Our identity theft unit works with various groups who may have misinformation about you, including creditors, collectors, and credit reporting agencies. To participate, you must file and submit a copy of your police report and an identity theft notification and affidavit form to our office.
Hi, I'm Attorney General Dave Yost. For more information about identity theft or to download the identity theft notification form, just visit ohioattorneygeneral.gov or call us at the Help Center, 800-282-0515.
Can never really be ever more important to guard against identity theft. And we actually have resources in our office that can help rectify the effects of identity theft if your information's been compromised and used to commit criminal fraud.
Identity theft just doesn't occur in Ohio. Many times it comes from anywhere in the world. And if I suspect my identity has been acquired after contacting the police and then contacting you, will you go after them?
Well, the real the real point of the identity theft unit is to help rectify the effects of identity theft and to help the victim piece together back their good name and reestablish their credit. So we work with creditors, debt collectors, credit reporting agencies, folks like that, to help rectify the effects of identity theft. Now, when it comes to actually going after the culprits or the perpetrators, we do have civil enforcement authority over consumer protection laws. A lot of these folks, though, are overseas, and a lot of these folks are committing criminal offenses. We do have an economic crimes unit as well that works with local law enforcement. We work with county prosecutors to address consumer fraud of a criminal nature. And that was one of the other videos that we had earlier on, was from Melissa Wright, that talked a little bit about our civil authority and what we do with criminal activity that is hurting consumers. So while I wish we could resolve every identity theft issue from both the victim standpoint and getting the perpetrator thrown in jail or held accountable for his or her behavior, the fact is that we do have limited resources, but we do utilize them wherever we do see a need. We will try to resolve the matter fairly for the consumer by rectifying the effects of identity theft, as well as hold folks accountable if there is a consumer law that's been broken at the state level. The fact is that a lot of these identity thieves and criminals are conducting criminal activity, sometimes even overseas. So it's very difficult to wrap our arms around those folks as a state agency. What we concentrate most on is helping rectify the effects of identity theft for the individual consumer who has been violated, and they're a victim. And so we want to try to piece everything back together again and help establish their good name again after that identity theft has occurred. So we work with debt collectors, we work with creditors, we work with credit reporting agencies to get their good name established back for them. And certainly if there is a criminal activity, that may go to local law enforcement, it may go to the economic crimes, a part of our section. If there are civil remedies that need to be taken into account, we do have civil enforcement over consumer protection laws within the state of Ohio. So it really depends. But one thing is for sure, we do have that identity theft unit. We do have services for consumers that do need to rectify the effects from a victim point of view.
Is identity theft diminishing?
I wouldn't say so. I think it's probably as high as it ever's been in terms of the number and volume of identity theft. I mean, we took nearly 600 complaints in 2022. Just our office took individual complaints of identity theft, but we know the numbers are much, much larger. Think of the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people throughout the country that are identity theft victims all year long. So they say that, I've seen on advertisements, they say that identity theft occurs every 3 seconds in this country. So it's definitely running rampant. The fact is, it is really up to individual consumers to look for signs of identity theft. Look at your credit report at least once a year through annualcreditreport.com. Do what it takes to hold your identity private as possible. And if you want to freeze your credit or you want an initial fraud alert, we have more information on that through ohioprotects.org. Those are free possibilities for you that can help guard your identity and help reduce the risk that you face of being a victim to identity theft. Again, that's an initial fraud alert that lasts for a year and can be renewed by you. And or a credit freeze through all 3 of the credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Those are the 3 major credit reporting bureaus, and they can freeze your credit if that's what you desire. And that's permanent unless or until you unfreeze your credit report.
Hi, I'm Chris Ellison, Director of Consumer Advocacy. It's National Consumer Protection Week, and the Ohio Attorney General's office has a consumer protection section to help you with problems you may have had during a purchase. Have you hired a contractor to perform home repairs that weren't provided as promised? Maybe your car repair didn't go as planned. If you have a consumer issue you can't seem to resolve on your own, we may be able to help through our informal dispute resolution process. The next time you don't see eye to eye with the business, first, contact the business directly. Consider writing the business a letter that explains your concern and how the business could satisfactorily resolve the problem. If that fails to resolve the issue, contact our office. Your complaint may then be placed in our informal dispute resolution process. At that point, a consumer complaint specialist will work with both you and the business to try to reach a resolution. Generally, the most common category of complaint is motor vehicles, including problems with car titles, sales, or repairs. We can also help with complaint categories like professional services, tax services, landscaping, shopping, food, or beverages, in addition to complaints about online shopping, department stores, or gift cards.
I'm Attorney General Dave Yost. To file a consumer complaint, call Ohio Attorney General's Help Center at 800-282-0515. Or you can file a complaint on our website at ohioattorneygenera.gov. We're here to help.
Now we're going to talk about another specialized unit within the consumer protection section. This one is called the Title Defect Rescission Fund, and it's a long acronym for TDR, the Title Defect Rescission Fund. But that has to do with people that have complaints about not receiving their title on time, or if there's a problem with the odometer, or the condition of the car they've received. We have more information available through this fifth and final video. Let's go ahead and play that.
Hi, I'm Chris Ellison, Director of Consumer Advocacy. It's National Consumer Protection Week. Did you know that in Ohio, car dealerships can sell cars without the title in their name? What they can't do is then fail to pass that title on to the consumer. The Ohio Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Section administers the Title Defect Rescission Fund, or TDR fund, for consumers who need help when dealers fail to provide a valid car title in the purchaser's name. Under Ohio law, if a dealership sells a car without title in their name and the title isn't delivered in 40 days, if it wasn't disclosed that the car was once declared salvage, or if the odometer reading is false, a car buyer may have an unconditional right to undo the car purchase, and the dealer must refund all the money the consumer paid. In the event the consumer would rather have their vehicle title and not undo the transaction, our TDR unit may be able to help the car buyer with the title process. The TDR unit also works with the BMV to provide Ohio consumers the opportunity to renew their temporary tag so they can use their vehicle while our office works their consumer complaint.
I'm Attorney General Dave Yost. If you have a problem with title issues like these, contact the AG's Consumer Protection Section. You can call 800-282-0515 or fill out a complaint online at ohioattorneygenera.gov.
The important thing to remember about the TDR, the Title Defect Rescission unit in our office, is that for ordinary purchases of a motor vehicle, a lot of times used cars are sold as is with no warranty. So unless there is an issue involving getting your title, or the odometer has been falsified, or the vehicle's been salvaged and they didn't tell you that it's all been rebuilt from being salvaged, those are the limited conditions that would allow you potentially to get a refund of your vehicle through the TDR unit. It's very limited in scope, but it's also very important work to keep consumers protected and to hold car dealers accountable.
Hey, we're talking with Ryan Lippe. Ryan Lippe is a consumer educator with the State of Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost office. Ryan, great information. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it and look forward to hopefully helping out some of your viewers.